Potatoes love, my gravy love. Potatoes love, my gravy love. Potatoes.
Hi everyone, so those of you who are new to my channel, this is Dinner and a Movie. Dinner and a Movie focuses on a transitioning, quick preparation meal that you may want to use with your friends or family that aren't necessarily vegan, or you may even want to use it as a meatless Monday, and I incorporate a film. Now, just because you or some of your family members might be interested in a healthier vegan or vegetarian diet doesn't necessarily mean everybody in the family is. I get so many questions about how do I get my family into this? And the reality is you may not ever get your friends or family completely on board with you, but you may be able to get them to see it your way, in a sense. Now, nobody in my family is vegan except for me, but there are a few vegetarians. So I would say that when it comes to holidays and get-togethers, I'd say we are 50% this and 50% that. Very important to be tolerant of everybody's lifestyles around you, whether you're vegan or vegetarian, which is why I have devised a non-political vegan transitioning based channel which allows people to come and enjoy themselves without judgment. And that's just the way I run my channel, because I think in order to enjoy a vegan lifestyle, you just have to be willing to accept what you can't change. And in order to be happy with just the people in your life and the world around you, you just need to be accepting of change and differences. There are great other channels out there, such as the Healthy Vegan, Life Regenerator, Paralita 22, Veggie Beauty, that all have really great, very advanced channels that talk about veganism. A few of them have written ebooks, and a lot of them have their own recipes which take you from scratch to the end product. I think that a vegan can eat a wholehearty, wholesome diet that is completely fabulously drenched in flavor if you open yourself to new avenues of food. I think that there's a whole world out there outside of meat, potatoes, and butter that the majority of the world hasn't gotten the experience to taste. A lot of people will find themselves missing the things that they grew up with and will either cheat or let their taste for it just kind of die out, whereas I like to see if I can find you an alternative. So let's get started. Preheat a small pan. We're going to go ahead and take a little bit of olive oil. Just a little bit. Make sure it's not too hot before you get started. Using my bachelorette ways, I'm sure there's better ways to cut tofu, and when I go back and look at my old videos, I'm like, my cutting skills have come a long ways, and I'm sure they still have yet a few steps to take. But I just went ahead and took the organic tofu cutlet, spinach spring mix. This is super easy if you don't have time to head out your lettuce. I have disliked eating meat as far as I can remember. I always kind of thought of the animal being alive, and around 11 or 12 I stopped eating pork, and a few months after that I gave up all meat entirely. And I tried to give up eggs, but my mother wouldn't let me at the time because she thought that I would not develop properly. So when I got older, I finally stopped eating like regular eggs, as in like egg omelets and stuff like that. I completely gave up physical eggs that you would see on a plate. I've always disliked pancakes and heavy desserts, so I always was kind of like willing to give up a little bit more foods that I necessarily didn't really care for. Now, my mother was a single mother, and this meant I cooked for myself a lot as a kid. So I grew up just trying out different things, cooking them myself that didn't contain meat. And there would always be something really quick because I was either coming home from school or I was getting ready to go to a class or having to go to work. So I just developed really quick, easy ways to get out of the house, and most of my cooking was done by myself. At that time, fast food restaurants or any restaurants weren't really offering a vegetarian cuisine, to say the least. And so times were a lot tougher for a vegetarian back then. And so I think I probably went a whole of 10 years without ever touching anything from a restaurant. I'm going to go ahead and take the wonton strips. These are the authentic crunchy topping for salads. And you can go ahead and put the dressing before or after you do this. It's up to you. Before I forget, we're going to go ahead and place a little cubed cooked tofu on my salad. You do this probably before the wontons. Dressing that you desire. This is red wine and olive oil. This is a balanced option, especially for a store-bought dressing. It has omega-3 and canola oil in it. Since the movie is about cutting loose and mixing it up with a couple generations of fabulous movie, singers, whatever. We're gonna mix it up with Sophie's Kitchen breaded vegan shrimp. Now, this is a gluten-free and a soy-free shrimp, and this is very good for people with seafood allergies, gluten allergies, vegan or vegetarian. This is a cholesterol-free alternative. Sophie's Kitchen has been in my heart since it developed, because one of the first things I missed from food when I went vegetarian a long time ago was seafood. So finally, many years later, here we are with Sophie's Kitchen. This is a soy-free option as well. It is made from the cognac root. So it's about as plant-based alternative as you can get. Now we're actually gonna go ahead and bake these babies up. So we're actually gonna go ahead and bake those for 10 to 15 minutes. And before I do that, let's say you're sharing these at like some sort of a potluck or whatever. Make them more fun for everybody. I'm gonna go ahead and season them up before we bake them with 100% lemon juice. You guys might be thinking, okay, 10 to 15 minutes, you already made the salad. So what's gonna go on with the salad? Well, first of all, I have not dressed it yet, and we're just gonna go ahead and let the tofu cool down a little bit before, during the baking process, 10 to 15 minutes, because I don't want to serve the tofu warm. Now, if you like a hot salad layer on top, then go ahead and go for it. Will come out okay in the process if you just hold off from putting dressings on everything until the end result. And this tofu should have cooled down nicely so that the whole salad has a similar heat, texture kind of style. I personally don't like to eat one dish that has all this different textures, if you know what I mean. And then we have the Sophie's Kitchen breaded shrimp. I actually love how tiny these little breaded shrimps are. They're not like giant like scallops or prawns. I absolutely love this salad. I love the brown organic tofu. I love that I waited for the salad tofu to cool down, so it's all kind of very even, all one taste. And I personally just like to cook my tofu. I think it tastes a little better that way, but some people like to eat it cold. It's up to you. Jennifer Lopez and Jane Fonda in Monster-in-Law. Go ahead and check it out. Wanda Sykes is also in it. She plays Jane Fonda's personal assistant. Absolutely funny with Jane Fonda. And it's absolutely hilarious. Once again, I love the juxtaposition between a generation of actresses. Jennifer Lopez's character is a little bit more of a hippie, veggie, hipster, temp type of person. And then Jane Fonda's character is very like shrimp cocktail at the dinner party. So kind of thought that would go. All right, I hope you enjoy and thank you for watching.
Potatoes love, my gravy love. Potatoes love, my gravy love. Potatoes love, my gravy love. Tomatoes and potatoes and my